Hello, 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel, and today we're going to start a little bit of a new series. We're going to be a short series, but today I have this old military sporter. Now, traditionally, sporters are military firearms that were bought back when they were surplus out for relatively cheap and converted into more of a hunting style rifle, something you be used out on the farm, something you use out hunting. Just an economical way of having a quality rifle. Fix it up the way you want it and have something to go out and hunt with. Now, this was very big, has been big for centuries. I've seen rolling blocks and stuff that have been converted over to sporters. I've seen military muzzleloaders that have been converted over to sporters. So it's not a new concept. It's kind of falling out of favor now that these are getting up there in years. A lot of people don't like to see the sporters, but sometimes if you're looking for a decent, range gun or decent hunting rifle, don't overlook these sporters. You can sometimes get them relatively inexpensive compared to their untouched brethren. But this one is a 9130 Mosin Nagant. It was kind of a mix between Tula and Ishvik, mostly Ishvik, but there were some Tula parts on it. It was an Arsenal refinish. The only really redeeming part of this rifle was originally it was in a World War II correct, and this is World War II manufacture. I believe it's like 1943 or something like that. It was in a wartime correct stock. Now, I had another 9130 that was in a post-war stock, and it is now sitting in that World War II period correct stock because they were both the same year. So I used that stock, put it on that rifle. I've still got that stock running around. I'm looking for somebody who has Sporterized one badly that I can put into that stock. On this one, we've got a nylon cartridge holder that we bought from Walmart. It is sitting in an ATI stock. We have done a little bit of a trigger job on it. We've got a bolt handle here that I found a guy on eBay that does these. He does these about 10 at a time. When he's doing them, he usually puts out, he sells 10. You send them in. He asks you what stock you're putting it in, how you want it raked. I mean, this one we raked back about 10 inches, or 10 degrees, I'm sorry. And he builds these handles for you, really sharp. Did a very, very nice job on the bolt handle. We've got an aim scope on here. Now, scout scopes, the aim one is working, but I'm not 100% happy with the aim scope. This last time I took it out, I was shooting 8 inches high. I was on target, but we were at 50 yards, so we'll see. It might be the difference in the ammo I was using. The scope mount base, I really, really like the scope mount base here. It actually attaches, you take the rear sight off and you've got a 3/8 rail. It's kind of a tapered rail, but you've got a 3/8 rail underneath the rear sight, and this just slides right onto that rail, locks in solid. We go over here and we look underneath there. You can see a channel here, and that channel, he's got a rear sight notch in the back of that, so that you can still use the iron sights if something were to go on with your scope. Moving on down the rifle, we've got a nice little hunting sling on it. And we come down here and we put a nice Lyman peep or globe sight on there. We've got the post in there, and we did cut this down and recrown this. Now, the work that was done on this, you can see on the channel. We also put a ramped front sight on there. But you can follow along on the channel. We documented this as we put it together. So yes, this one was done by me. I'm the Bubba in this equation on this one. I just wanted a little shorter, handier rifle. I wanted fireballs. for the most part, and the M44s were getting tough to find at that time. I only picked this rifle up. I mean, when I picked this up 7 years ago, it was 1.25. So it was, and that was with tax. So I didn't pay a whole lot for it. And like I said, it was a mutt. But let's go ahead. First, we're going to take a look down the bore on this and document the bore. And then we're going to go to the range and we're going to shoot it and come back and tell you my thoughts.
Take a look at the crown. See, we've got pretty good rifling all the way to the edge, which is what you want. The crown on this one was also fairly worn when I did this. So, we'll come down the rifle here. We can see some pitting and stuff. You know, it's an old rifle, but the rifling remains pretty decent. Again, we're a little bit closer to the chamber. Still got pretty decent rifling. We'll go ahead and do a Source of Paris eye view. It's a little dirty. It needs to be cleaned. I have not been running corrosive ammo through it. I have been running reloads. So I'm not too worried about corrosion and stuff. We'll get her cleaned up. But kind of interesting though, as you go down the bore, how nice it is here. And here's our chamber. We'll come on from the other side of the chamber, take a quick look at the chamber. But rifling is not too bad. And as you get further down the rifle, you can see a little bit more and more corrosion from its military days. One of the reasons I cut this one down is because it wasn't shooting very well. And instead of counterboring it, we just took some off the end of the barrel, and as you can see, that crown was still pretty decent. So we're a little dirty, but overall we're looking really good. You can see some of the imperfections in the metal when you get close. You know, they were making these things as fast as they could. And let's take a look at the chamber. Chamber looks good. You can see where your neck and where it then the start of your rifling. Let's get out there and shoot this thing.
Okay, not bad for 50 yards considering it was shooting 10 inches high. In order to get that group in the red there, I was having to shoot below the target, but I did a pretty decent job with Kentucky windage there. I'm sure if I were to adjust the scope to shoot on point, it would have that group would have tightened up a little bit, but not bad for 50 yards. I want to take this out to 100 again, really get it sighted in for the load I'm going to use. We did free float the barrel in this, so the barrel is free floated from here forward, so harmonics and stuff have a little bit to do with it. Find a load it likes, but I think it's going to work out very well. Don't pass by some of these sporters. I mean, sometimes these sporters, they started out as a decent shooting gun, or maybe they had a little bit of a problem like this one where the bore was eroded on that last couple inches. Instead of counter boring it, we just went ahead and sporterized it, cut it a little short to kind of bring back some of the accuracy of it. But don't pass these sporters by. You can find yourself a pretty decent rifle. It's got some history to it. Yeah, it's been modified from its original configuration. I prefer to keep most of that stuff stock. And when I find them in stock configurations now, I usually keep it that way. This was a project. I only paid like $1.25 for this rifle. At the time, like I said, it was a Ishvik Tula mutt. So this is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel. Just thought I'd bring out one of my sporters to show you that, just because it's a sporter doesn't mean it's a bad rifle. Bad. No, it doesn't mean it's a bad rifle. This is 45 Alpha Charlie Papa channel, and I am out. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.